Alrighty guys, we're back for some Proliferate Control, and this is a Phyrexia all will be one standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Yep, we're stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit today with Control. Uh, but I promise it's going to be a fun one, guys. It's a little bit different. We're rocking Faithbound Judge. This is a 3-mana 4/4 Defender, Flying, Vigilance. At the beginning of your upkeep, if Faithbound Judge has 2 or fewer judgment counters on it, put a judgment counter on it. As long as Faithbound Judge has 3 or more judgment counters on it, it can attack as though it didn't have Defender. Okay, nice. So that is a great reason to proliferate and start swinging in with this 1 or 2 turns early, huh? And then it also has that Disturb ability for 5 and double white, and you get to enchant a player. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a judgment counter on Sinner's Judgment. Then, if there are 3 or more judgment counters on it, enchanted player loses the game. Very cool. Another great way to proliferate as well. Yeah, our main win condition is technically Faithbound Judge. So what all cards proliferate in here? Well, we got all 4 Experimental Auguries. Just being able to find something off the top of our library sounds great. Then proliferate. We have all 4 Serum Snares. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If that permanent was mana value 3 or less, proliferate. Nice. Have a couple Bankbusters in here. Just a terrific card in general. I love it, and I don't know how often we would actually proliferate an extra counter onto this. I guess not too often, because more often than not, you actually really like to have the treasure and the pilot, but it might come in handy. We have all 4 Tablet of Completions in here. This is a 2-mana artifact. You get to tap it to put an oil counter on Tablet of Completion. You can tap it to add a colorless mana. Activate only if Tablet of Completion has 2 or more oil counters on it, which of course is really easy to get to. And then you could pay 1 tap it to draw a card. Activate only if Tablet of Completion has 5 or more oil counters on it. So there's no oil theme in the deck, but I think overall this is actually going to be a very solid, pretty great ramp. And then in the late game, it's just going to keep your hand stocked, especially if you have a couple of these on the board as you're proliferating as well. So we also have a couple Ichormoon Gauntlets. I think that's Ichormoon? I don't even know. Either way, I'm just going to call it the Gauntlets for now on. This is a 3-mana artifact. Planeswalkers you control have 0 proliferate, or a -12. Take an extra turn after this one. Okay. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose a counter on target permanent, put an additional counter of that kind on that permanent. So pretty good. Only a couple of them, though. I don't think you want more than 2, honestly. Because you're spending your whole turn 3 to get this out, or, well, it depends. It depends. Because, yeah, we do have ramp with tablet, so it might come down to playing this later on in the game, and you still have a couple mana open for a little bit of protection, like the Serum Snare or something. So, yeah, we'll see. Have a single Celestus, awesome ramp. It's going to work well with, of course, Teferi, who slows the sunset, which also works really well with Reckoner Bankbuster and Tablet of Completion. Being able to untap them and use their abilities again on the same turn sounds awesome. Also, the life gain's really good on here, and of course, all the proliferate works wonders with Planeswalkers as well, so nice. We have a 3 Jace the Perfected Mind in here, which is actually pretty decent, a great way to draw cards as well. We have all 4 Wandering Emperors, just ridiculously powerful, as we all know. Single Teferi, Temporal, Pilgrim here, being able to draw more cards. The spirits are pretty good. The spirits actually get counters on them, which works with the Proliferate as well. And the -12 is absolutely ridiculous and not too hard to get to if you're drawing off a Bankbuster, Tablet of Completion, drawing off a Jace and stuff like that too. -12 is target opponent chooses a permanent they control and returns it to their hand. Then they shuffle each non-land permanent they control into its owner's library. So yeah, that would be a GG, right? On the top end, we have a single Farewell, my absolute least favorite card in all of Standard right now, honestly. And even to the point where some control decks we've played in the past definitely could have used a couple Farewells on the top end, but I just chose not to play with it, just out of my absolute, disgust. I don't like Farewell very much, even though it's not necessarily the most powerful card, or anything like that. It's just gross. I don't like it. So yeah, we have one. It's good. It works really well with all the planeswalkers in here. We have 2 Eternal Wanderers, a 6-mana planeswalker that surprisingly I haven't seen too much recently. It's a 5 loyalty planeswalker. No more than 1 creature can attack the Eternal Wanderer each combat, which is a really good ability. Has a +1 here where you can exile up to 1 target artifact or creature, return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control at the beginning of that player's next end step. That's pretty decent. You get a 0 where you get to create a 2/2 double strike samurai, and then the -4 is really why it's in here as kind of an emergency board wipe. For each player, choose a creature that player controls. Each player sacrifices all creatures they control not chosen this way. In this deck, of course, you're going to choose your Faithbound Judge to keep around and your opponent's weakest link. So, anything else to go over, guys? Yeah, in the mana base, I have a whole bunch of dual land, and I actually only have 2 of the coasts in this build because I figured later on, we're going to be playing a lot of land after turn 3, and I'd rather have land that comes in tapped anyways, but actually gains us life. We'll see if I end up regretting that. So I do have all 4 of the coves, but then only 2 coasts. If you don't like that, go up the 2 coasts and go down to 2 coves. I still think we want the dual land because of all the double white and double blues just packed into this whole deck, right? We have a Soaring City, of course, a Seat of the Empire, and we actually don't get to see Teferi who slows the sunset too often, do we? I should probably go over this full thing real quick. So, for 2, a white and a blue, it's a 4 loyalty planeswalker. For the +1, choose up to 1 target artifact, up to 1 target creature, and up to 1 target land. Untap the chosen permanents you control, tap the chosen permanents you don't control, and then you gain 2 life. And then the -2, look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Not bad. Of course, that doesn't count as drawing or anything like for the Teferi, but yeah. Or for the other Teferi. Then the -7, you get an emblem with untap all permanents you control during each opponent's untap step, and you draw a card during each of your opponent's draw steps. So that's pretty cool, I guess. Honorable mentions, guys. Yeah, I'm not rocking any counter spells in here. Really not my playstyle at all to rock counter spells, and I think we'll get away with not playing any. Like, this is Red Cat style control, you know? We know how to get that damage in and just, you know, just good old-fashioned cards that generate creatures, and it's a little silly now that I'm looking at it that way, but yeah. No Make Disappear, no Reject Imperfection, just, yeah, no counter spells. Filigree Silex could be a really cool one in here, of course, right? But no oil theme overall, just the Tablet of Completion. It could help us wrap up some games potentially too, and all the Proliferate, so definitely something to consider here. Depopulate is one to consider too. I really didn't want to hit our Faithbound Judge though. I really want to keep that just as a brick wall, which is just... it blocks everything, man. Can you imagine poor mono red just trying to get their Phoenix Chick through and we have a Faithbound Judge? Like, it's kind of awesome, right? So yeah, no Depopulate this time. The Kuthel, oh my goodness. Whatever Dominus this guy is, if you would proliferate twice, this could be really cool, but even though it's called Proliferate Control, there's actually not too much to proliferate with in here, and I don't know, it's a 4-mana card. I'd rather just play Planeswalkers, you know what I mean? Elspeth is a 5-mana Planeswalker that happens to be really good and could help us find the Faithbound Judge off the -3, but not this time round. And then the Insight here, it's a 5-mana sorcery, draw 3 cards and proliferate. Actually, not too bad. Would restock our hand and then proliferate onto all of our Planeswalkers. Actually sounds ridiculous, but not this time round, huh? That's the deck, guys. 26 total mana in here, and that should be enough, honestly. So let's go ahead and take this into some ranked. I'm a little nervous, not gonna lie. Like I said, out of my comfort zone, but we'll be fine. We'll be totally fine. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first match here. What am I expecting from the build? Actually, I have no idea. I have no clue. I guess I'm expecting a little bit. I mean, I think it's going to be relatively decent against, well, it depends, right? Okay, no double white for the Faithbound Judge. The Gauntlet's fine. Jace could come down on turn 3. This is technically a bad hand, right? We have a ridiculous number of 2 mana cards, and we have none of them in this hand. The opponent goes first, too. I think technically this is a mulligan, but for the sake of testing the deck, I'm going to keep it. And look, man, we have so many dual lands packed in here, too. Okay, another blue source. Sure, sure. That's fine. I don't mind getting Gauntlet down, and now that we have the 4 mana, we can get Teferi when it comes time. There we go. Deserted Beach is great. None of our 2 mana cards is a little strange, but it's fine. Opponent goes first with probably a mid-range build over there, huh? Which probably means our Faithbound Judge will get picked up right away. But hey, we drew a second one. Nice. Very nice. How do you guys feel about Red Cat playing Control, huh? And look, we play Control sometimes, but it always has Red packed in it. I don't know, I just... Unless it's a suggestion, of course. I do play suggestions that are outside the theme of the channel, right? But it's very, very rare. I can't remember the last time I played Azorius Control. This might actually be the first time. I honestly, I don't know. Whoa, Urza assembles the Titans. What on earth? Well, let's see if they find a Planeswalker in the top 4 here. Because they can scry, get one to the top, and then put it into their hand. They do find one. Nice. Oh, it's a fairy. Okay, well, sure. Might just play our own Teferi this turn, or get the Faithbound Judge down. Or the Gauntlet would be good too. Everything sounds good right now. Literally everything. Some Esper Planeswalkers over there, probably. Literally, I don't even know. I'm sorry, opponent. Like, second Faithbound Judge sounds good too, but I want to get the Gauntlet on the board before they have a counterspell open. No matter what, we could only do one thing that turn, even if we played the Experimental Augury as well, so... This is definitely... Wow, that's an early Vraska. Or it feels early. Wow! Oh my goodness, we're gonna get our butt handed to us. Oh, dude. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Vraska and an Eternal Wanderer on the same turn because of the Assembles the Titans. Oh, we are like super dead. Oh, they get to activate them twice too. Oh my goodness, guys, what on earth? I don't even... This is the first time I'm seeing Esper Planeswalkers, and the first time I'm seeing Urza Assembles the Titans actually do something really good too, so... What do we do? Anything we play gets picked up by Vraska? Dude, we just got wrecked. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know. I'm just gonna play Jace, dude. I don't even know. We could draw off a Jace at least, right? So sure. I guess I don't even know who to mill at this point. I guess we'll mill the opponent. Because if they don't do damage, then technically we could eventually mill them out as well. The Gauntlet comes back, the Judge comes back, that's good, but we don't have a counter on the Judge. Vraska has the -2 available, and they have their own Gauntlet. What is this, man? Is this a mirror match in Ranked? This is the weirdest mirror match. Dude. Okay, I gotta ask it, right? I gotta ask. Did they change matchmaking in Ranked to actually... GG, by the way. GG opponent. That was insane, dude. Holy cow. Did I have fun that game? I didn't do anything that... No, technically I did. Dude, I don't even think I had a decision. I could have mulliganed. That was probably the first decision. Tried to find something faster. Dude, oh man. Geez. This is the third video I'm recording for the day, guys, by the way. So if my voice is giving out, I do apologize. Okay, wow. Well, at least we go first. These hands have been really slow, right? You know what, we'll try it. As long as we're not going up against whatever the opponent was playing last game. That was terrifying. You know, maybe we want to consider that Urza assembles the Titans for this build. Probably not, though, because I think a big part of that build was honestly probably a couple of those Veraskas on the top end. That's what it feels like, at least. Farewell's fine, and everything about this hand is ridiculously slow. I promise we have 2 mana cards, guys, I promise. In 26 land, we should be able to find the 4th one pretty easy. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, stop the Harvester for a turn, I suppose. I'm scared, guys. All week we've been drawing really weird. We haven't been seeing too many weird things, though. I've been seeing a lot of the meta. At long last, we are just seeing meta stuff. More Grixis. Oh, hi, Grixis. Welcome back. Welcome back, Grixis. It's good to see ya. I'm going to draw. If they kill Jace, at least our face isn't getting hit, and Grixis likes cards in their grave. No 4th mana. I'm going to do this now so we're not holding them up for the turn, and Teferi up the top. All right, well, let's, I guess, sit back and let Grixis do its thing, huh? Grixis can really pile through the damage. For being a mid-range build, their turn 4 and turn 5 is incredibly scary, right? Swing all to face, not worried about the Jace. Drop a Invoke, right? Invoke Despair takes care of Jace. And we take another 4 damage. Okay. We did find a mana. It is, in fact, a tapped mana, though. So we can't get the Teferi down, which would have been the best bet. Well, we ramped with the Tablet of Completion, and this could have easily been another mulligan hand, guys, but that being said, technically we're not dead yet. First of all, we do have the ramp on tablet, which means we could draw an untapped land and drop Farewell. Oh no, my Tablet of Completion! No! Well, now we don't have the Farewell. Corpse Appraiser picks up their Blood Tithe Harvester. Get a draw. I think that's the only creature. Yeah. That was the only creature in a grave. Little bit of ramp with the Goblin Shaman, and we are in danger, guys. Is there anything we could do here? A little bit of life gain's fine. Wandering Emperor's great. Probably take care of the... They're going to copy with Reflection. I guess... Does it matter which one we hit then? Yeah, we'd rather exile the Harvester, right? Gonna gain 2 from that, so it's gonna come down to, are they gonna be able to find that excess damage with another Invoke Despair, I suppose? We could have mulliganed. We could have tried to find something a little faster, guys, with at least one of our 2 mana cards. They know they're playing into a Wandering Emperor, I would assume. Get a little bit more ramp here. We could actually generate... I think we want to gain life, though. We're at 7. Alright. I think we want the 2 life gain on the Emperor, because I was going to say we could go just for a block. But I also like... They drop a GG. I guess we'll go up to 9 then. In case they have a lot of extra. A lot of extra damage, right? Because we're taking 4 down to 5. And then they drop Invoke number 2, and then we go down to 1. If we would have went for the block and they dropped the invoke, then it would have been the GG's. Because we wouldn't have gained the 2. And I'll get rid of the Wandering Emperor. Yeah, it's gotta be a GG. They're probably right. But if we could successfully get... We do have the Farewell available now. Alright, we'll start with a draw. It could just be a third Invoke Despair here too. And they do have 2 treasures open as well. Wandering Emperor. Alright, farewell. All creatures, all artifacts, all enchantments. All graveyards? No. Right? Because of Jace? I guess that's fine. I guess that's fine. So they want to use their 2 treasures before... Or they want to use, like, the blood token. The single negate. Good game, opponent. Oh my goodness. Okay, control players, down in the comments, let me know. Was that a mulligan hand? Should I have tried to find something faster? Because generally speaking, if you're playing, like, aggro, obviously, you want to, like, find a faster line of play. And that hand would have been, well, we would have been playing a different deck, but you guys know what I mean. Mana-wise and everything, that would have been a very slow hand. Was that a mulligan? I have no idea. I think it was worth trying. See if we can actually find some faster things, maybe? A couple Serum Snares, but now we only have a couple land. I don't know. Somebody send help. Send help, guys. Cove comes down, like, we have 26 mana in here, and we did miss a land drop last game too, so... Serum Snare is great against Feldon. We actually have to get something good on the board first, though, I would say. How do you guys feel about that? Waiting for the Judge to come down? Adversary? No, I'm not waiting. Yeah, it's a lot of extra damage. And they can't recast Feldon this turn. And Judge blocks the Adversary next turn. Ooh, Coast. That was a close one. Feldon comes down, we take the 2 from Feldon. The big thing is, like, slowing them down enough. And at this point, the infinite amount of Wandering Emperors we drew last game would be much, much better in this match. Feldon comes down. They don't swing into this. That is excellent news for us. It's got to be Jace, right? It's got to be Jace. Stop the Feldon a little bit. Because we're not, the plan is to not block Feldon. Like, we don't want to block that. We just want to block with the Judge. My Judge. You monster. My poor little Judge. That was 2 cards. Swing at Jace, and we get to keep it around a little bit longer. We have the 5th mana for Teferi. Serum Snare lets us proliferate. They're going to go face. Okay. Mana flips next turn. Farewell's a great draw. It's a good draw, guys. It is. Not gonna do... I think the -3 on Jace is really good. So... When I say -3, I mean the -3 attack, of course. Don't mind drawing here, too. Like, we could draw a couple times, but this is probably the best bet, right? Getting this... with a counter could be good too. Top deck a land and Farewell's excellent. Depending on where they swing. Foundry's good. Foundry's really good for them. I think the Serum Snare is going to be excellent too. Raiju hits this board state, man. This is scary. This is very scary. A Wandering Emperor would be incredible. The Eternal Wanderer wouldn't be bad too, but maybe we need to talk about 27 mana in here. So where are they swinging? They're going face, Teferi, we're going to trade, take 3, down to 9, Teferi, Temporal, Pilgrim's out, Raiju stays. I think that makes sense to me. Taking the 3 to face is pretty scary. Opponent had absolutely terrific swings there. And at this point, Raiju is going to be able to continue to buff their board for a while. Drawing off the Jace could be an okay start to find the 6th mana sooner. They're going to swing with Raiju either way. And I think we'd want to bounce the things that they put the counters on, right? Bouncing Etching is so bad, though. So bad. We are in trouble, and the 27th mana I am really considering. Alright, opponent, let's see it, buddy. They could power up Foundry this turn, too. We're in some serious danger, man. If we don't... Oh... I should have bounced the Raiju. Let's see where they swing, and we're going to be taking some extra damage off the Raiju, but I think it'll be worth it to... Okay, here we go, here we go. Get Feldon back to hand. If we see a second Jace, then we could mill the opponent to death, huh? They could play the Foundry. Oh, it has to be non-land. So they get to recast Etching, but it's a lot less damage. Like, a significant amount of less damage, because Raiju... Jace is at 9. We have... we have 3 times 9, which mills 27 cards. No, they do have 48, so I don't know what exactly I was thinking about milling them out there. Oh, Commando hits the Jace too, so... Alright. Well, we have the Farewell now. Eternal Wanderer is pretty great too. Farewell hits Commando and Raiju, and they still have the Foundry to power up and the Feldon. Mono Red keeping us on our toes. 2/2 Samurai could be pretty good. And just make the Raiju... I think that's fine. Could also exile the Raiju until the end of their next... Yeah, that might be the play as well. Well, not necessarily. I think this is fine. But to stick to my original plan. Because the 2/2 Double Strike Samurai blocks Foundry really well. Commando's not flipping yet. Feldon's a 3/3 though when it hits next turn. Ah, jeez, I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin, honestly. Play with fire. Okay, taking 3, 5. Oh, it was just a mountain. Okay, good. Power up Foundry. Oh no, we're dead. They can still swim with Raiju. Ah, I should have dropped the Farewell. No, GG opponent. GG, that's 6 damage. I wasn't really thinking about the burn. I should have been thinking about the burn, honestly. GG, oh man. Well, I believe in us, guys. We can do this. We can do this. The mana just doesn't seem like it's enough mana where like we really wanted to find the 6th there, and when I did, I just messed up. I played the Eternal Wanderer instead of the Farewell. I needed to hit the Raiju and get the Commando out of there because the worst case scenario was burn in their hand, and that's what they ended up having. I didn't play it out well. I think maybe we could still be in that match. I think in that game in particular too, we really wanted to see the regular Wandering Emperor instead of the Eternal Wanderer, which is a great reason to, you know, that's why we have 4 of them in here. Sure, we'll give it a shot. I have literally no idea at this point. It seems like an okay hand. Bankbuster's great. Good draw. Scrap Gorger. Okay. Nice. Completion is a little bit of early ramp. I'm going to activate it now so we're not just holding up the opponent's turn. We don't have the double blue on Jace. But Jace could still be a cool one depending on what they play here. This is another deck that we really want to see a Wandering Emperor against, like for sure. 1, 2. I'm going to hold off on the Augury and just do this oil counter normally and get the Bankbuster down. That is completely fine, I would say. And now that we have the Cove down, we do have the double blue for Jace, and we don't have to play Seat as a land, but I'm pretty sure we do. Pretty sure we do. Luckily, no enchantments for them to hit. Shakedown heavy, nice. Some Golgari fight is what I'm assuming. Saw a land, not bad. Jace is particularly bad against the Shakedown heavy, huh? Eternal Wanderer, okay, that'll be next turn. Alright, it's still Jace. It's still Jace. I think Jace is actually a pretty great planeswalker, huh? Played with him a couple times already. And pretty solid. No point in holding this. So I'm just going to use it. If we had like another mana open, then it would be a Bankbuster draw. Or if we had another blue source, we'd have the Augury open, but... Which I guess we could have done. We could have... Yeah, we totally didn't have to play that as a 4-drop. Here you go, buddy. Have a card. That is a chunky hand you got over there, opponent. That is a lot of cards. Luckily, Farewell is pretty good against, like, Phyrexian Obliterator and everything. So, okay. Moorland is 100% fine, as we've learned. Eternal Wanderer, -4. And then let them keep the Scrap Gorger. Might be better than the Farewell here. Save the Farewell. How do you guys feel about that? We could actually let them... Huh. No, let's... Because they're missing a mana, so Scrap Gorger lets them ramp a little bit. I was going to say, we could let them keep the Underdog, because they can blitz that back next turn then. And then we go -3 on the Underdog with the Jace, and then they don't have ramp on the Scrap Gorger. Actually, I do like that. I like that. Then we go... Tenacious Underdog is a 0-2 now. Start to get a little bit of a Planeswalker lockdown going, maybe. Fight rigging, nice. Well, the Exile on the Eternal Wanderer is going to be terrific here, then. They get to take it out, though. Oh, man. Well, Farewell does hit everything nicely. Does clean it up nicely. Let's start with the draw. I don't think it's a Farewell this turn. A Faithbound Judge too. Okay. Get that down to a 3-1. Judge, and then we still have 2 mana open for the Augury. But we might want to wait to do that until our turn. Okay. Well, this game we're doing something. This game, we're actually seeing it. We saw the mana, which I guess we kind of saw how important the mana actually is. So we really, yeah, I know I keep bringing it up, but 27 is probably the right choice. It's small sample size, but I don't think it would hurt anything to go up to 27 land in here. And all the dual land is 100% fine. The double whites and the double blues in here are pretty greedy. So found their 4th mana. Scrap Gorger's gonna hit the board. I don't mind, like... Yeah, let's see what they do, because I don't think they swing. They only have 1 mana open now. Oh no, 2 mana. What am I saying? Go for the throat. Gonna potentially take a swing. Not a lot we can do there. We could crew up Bankbuster, but it can't block. Yeah, they're gonna swing at Jace. Oh no, they're not. They're gonna keep it all back. Oh, that's good news. Alright, let's do this. Let's see what we find. Ooh, that's fun, but I'm gonna grab Teferi. I think the life gain on that and everything is pretty great. And Bankbuster, do we want an extra counter? Sure, sure. This time around we do. I don't see why not. And exile everything or wait for Obliterator? We could go attach this turn. I don't mind that. Because we're probably safe for a couple turns here. Probably gonna swing at our face. No, they're not. It all depends, man. It all depends. I'm just gonna activate this now, so it's not holding them up on their turn. Jace is at 10, so we could have them mill 30. If they don't swing at Jace, of course. There they go. They'll get their fight rigging card, but Farewell keeps us pretty safe. We just don't want to hit enchantments now that we have the Sinner's Judgment on the board. Any of our Proliferate spells would be great. Okay. Well, we'll start with the draw. I don't think it's going to be a Farewell this turn either. Like, the Jace is keeping us safe. The Sinner's Judgment is going to be great. Yeah. See if we can Proliferate, see what we can see. I guess it's fine to grab the Bankbuster. Looking for more of our Proliferate cards, but that's 2 on the Judgment. We could actually go to Teferi. Gain some life here too. Actually, we could have drawn off a Jace to look for that last Proliferate. That could have been good too. And we could have, yeah, no, this is fine. This is fine. Go Tablet of Completion. Tap up to 1 creature. Doesn't really matter, does it? So we'll tap you. And we'll untap Tranquil Cove. That is all fine and dandy. Now we still have enough for Bankbuster, which we'll play. And we'll go -3 on Underdog and let them draw off of the Shakedown Heavy. Pretty good. Pretty good, guys. Wait. How many? Wait, did I have... Wait. Am I crazy? Did I just play that all out for no reason? Because, wait, let me read this again. Okay, yeah, no, it's fine. So it's at the beginning of your upkeep. So, yeah. This actually lets it... This saves them, guys. It loses our enchantment. And one of our planeswalkers. I guess we'll keep Jace, right? That's actually really bad. Yeah, we'll probably have to go Farewell then. Take care of their fight rigging and everything too. We'll let them draw off of Heavy. Oh man, it's too bad we couldn't find... It's too bad we couldn't find the other Proliferate. Either way, we still would have had to get to our turn though. And the Invoke Despair was going to hit. Hey, there's a Serum Snare. Alright, well, Farewell is going to feel so bad. Exile all creatures. Exile all enchantments. Boop. And then I suppose we'll start milling them and drawing. Right? I don't mind that. Get a draw in. Experimental Augury is actually pretty good. Nice. Alright, we'll keep everything open. End turn. Oh, jeez. I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on. Oh, we're gonna lose our Jace. I'm sad now. Let's see what we see. Wandering Emperor, yeah, there you go. I will take that. And we will proliferate on everything, sure. Even though Bankbuster might be our best bet to wrap up the game, I like the extra draws off of it. Yeah, let's not proliferate onto Bankbuster for the rest of this match. Yeah, that's probably our best bet. We'll see, we'll see. We're playing a lot of cards too. So double white there. Let's draw off of you, see what we see. So I guess we want to draw before playing stuff, by the way, guys. It's just... Alright, and then we'll keep the 4 mana open for the Emperor in case they find something a little fancier to swing in with. Or removal for Faithbound Judge and then an attack. Alright, let's go Wandering Emperor. Auto pay. Down to 13, I should be careful, maybe. And let's get a 2/2, sure. I wouldn't mind plussing onto the Judge, but I'm just going to plus next turn. It'll be fine. Counter. Ooh. That's fun. That's fun, guys. Maybe that's what we'll do instead. What a weird match, guys. What a weird deck. What have I done? What have I done? Honestly, though, seeing how it's playing out this game with so many, like, different options and everything, realistically, I think we should have done better all day today, but we'll proliferate. We don't need the extra +1/+1 counter by any means. And I will not proliferate onto the Bankbusters this time. Okay, and we still have room for Eternal Wanderer. Sure. You know what? Sure. We get a swing with Faithbound Judge, which is really cool. So I mean, I'm happy about this. We could proliferate too, instead of exiling their underdog, which is fine because we have so many blockers. And I cannot click on these for the life of me. There we go. Cool. Very cool. They both have Vigilance too, so we might as well full swing. Because if they block with underdog, then we still have Faithbound Judge to block too. Cut down. Aw, man. And if they have removal for Faithbound Judge on their turn, then we can power up Bankbuster to block. Oh no! You monster! Double removal, which means they're going to be able to start swinging into our Wanderers over here, huh? Mirex? Okay. Only one creature can swing at the Eternal Wanderer, though. Double swing at Wandering Emperor? Makes sense to me, man. Makes sense to me. How do we want to do this? We're at 13, they're at 18. Opponent's sticking it out, man. Look, depending on how many Invoke Despairs they have, they've played 2 so far. They probably have all 4, right? So, bringing this Sinner's Judgment back could be really good. Because what ends up happening is we proliferate on Wandering Emperor. Okay. We have Proliferate on the Serum Snare if we bounce the underdog back. And then the Gauntlet also gets us there. So we can actually minus for the Wanderer successfully, huh? Since the Serum Snare, yeah. So we'll let them keep their token. And then Serum Snare, so here's how this works, right? We have the 2 mana open. We end the turn. Okay. Once it's our turn, we play... Does it all happen at once? Probably not. We probably still need to wait an extra turn, because it's all on our turn, so there's not a lot of ways to cheese the Sinner's Judgment. There's just not a lot of ways to cheese that. So if we want to save the Eternal Wanderer, then we want to bounce with Serum Snare this turn. I'm not going to do it. I'm gonna just hope that they don't see their third Invoke Despair this game. We'll let the Eternal Wanderer perish. And we'll see if we can get there with the Sinner's Judgment. Because, yeah, it doesn't have a counter on it yet, so at the beginning of our upkeep, it gets that counter. And then I still think it has to be the ability, because it says then if there are 3 or more. Okay, we'll get an oil counter. So it gets the counter. Okay, Faithbound Judge is great, I suppose. I think we just go for some draws, though. And then the Serum Snare still should get us there, technically. Okay, we'll draw. I guess Faithbound Judge should probably... Oh, there we go, Wandering Emperor, nice. We have 6 mana open. Okay. What an absurdly long game, guys. Ah, jeez, man. People enjoy playing Control. More power to you guys, man. I don't even know where to begin half the time. Like, this is ridiculous. There have been some mid-range builds that I've made, though, that have gone this long, for sure. But Control is just like... It's its own separate ball game. So how much damage do you guys suppose we're taking here? Should we bounce Underdog? Or I guess we exile Underdog. You get a counter. Exile. We actually have the Proliferate on that too, which is kind of insane. And then Serum Snare. Bounce. And you get a counter. GG, opponent. We didn't get to actually see the Sinner's Judgment go off, but yeah. GG, buddy. We do not have time for another one. Holy cow. We got pretty destroyed there in a lot of the early games, and it might have been my fault. Maybe we should have been dropping the mulligan a little bit more often than what I was. The deck's cool, man. It's neat. I should have put my red cat twist on it a little bit more, though, and I thought, you know, going Faithbound Judge and going like a creature route for Control would be enough of a red cat twist, but I should have added red to it. Like, why not, right? Why not just make it a Jeskai build instead? It was nice to step outside of my comfort zone today, though. The Eternal Wanderer is actually pretty good. I don't know if you necessarily need the 2. You could drop one of these and go up the second Farewell. Like I said when I was going over the deck, like probably my least favorite card in all of Standard right now. I know a lot of people's is Invoke Despair, and I understand that completely. There's just something about Farewell, man. We don't see it that often. When we do, it completely ruins the game because I am a player that plays cards and that stick on the field, and Farewell just completely gets rid of everything. So, I loved all the Planeswalkers. The 4 Wandering Emperors were terrific. Would have been much better to actually see against some of the more aggressive matches, but then when we did end up seeing it in some of the other games, it wasn't necessarily that good. Either way, I still think you want all 4. The 2 Who Slows the Sunset was fine. The 3 Jace, I think this Planeswalker is actually just terrific in a lot of different matches. So, nice. It acts as its own form of... well, yeah, it acts as its own way to win the game, right? Like, it doesn't just have to be swinging in with Faithbound Judge or proliferating on Sinner's Judgment. You could easily mill and then play another Jace and then mill again, because the games go on for a while, and, you know, if you're plussing the Jace a lot, then, and sometimes aggro decks actually just ignore Jace and just keep swinging face, which is probably the best bet. What ends up happening, though, is if you have a big old chunky Jace, then you might have enough to double down on the Jace and then mill them out. But it's not going to happen too often, but it is there, and I think it is possible. And doubling on Jace for the bottom mill and then playing the second one and then going -2 is really good too to restock your hand. I like it. Didn't see Celestus today. I think it still would have been a fine one. The double Bankbusters is completely fine too. It's really weird to proliferate the counters onto this, but keeping our hand nice and stocked is really important. Gives us a lot of extra leeway. The Augury was fine. The Serum was a little slow, and we didn't see it when we needed to see it sometimes, but at the end there, it really came in handy. And the Gauntlet was pretty good too, huh? But you just need to find a way to get it onto the board without the opponents killing you first, and even the mid-range decks know how to kill you by turn 5, so... realistically, turn 6, but you guys know what I mean. I love Tablet of Completion. It's really cool. I love the early ramp, especially since for some reason it didn't feel like the 26 mana was enough. So that is pretty much the only thing I would do. I would go up a 27th mana and maybe drop... what are we dropping, huh? Maybe a Wandering Emperor. It is technically a legendary planeswalker, so going down to 3 of these is fine, but it's one of the main sources of removal. It's going to gain you life. It's going to generate creatures. It's going to be a win condition, like your other planeswalkers too. It is a planeswalker, so it works with the Proliferate on the Augury and the Snare and the Gauntlet. Okay, I changed my mind. What are we doing? We can drop an Eternal Wanderer, go up the second Farewell successfully. We need to go up 1 land. I guess we can drop a Tablet of Completion. As a matter of fact, if you don't like Tablet of Completion as much as I like it, I adore this card, man. I could see going down to 2 of these, keeping the 2 Bankbusters, going up that mana, and then finding more removal maybe, or going up the second Teferi. Pilgrim could be cool, I guess. It really depends, but yeah, to my control players, what would you guys add or take out? Let me know in the comments, of course. I'm always interested to see. It was pretty fun. I love Faithbound Judge. I like it. I like it, but overall control is absolutely miserable. I'm just glad we put a little twist on it today. Sinner's Judgment. It would have been cool to see if there was some kind of animation for the victory with Sinner's Judgment. I don't know exactly what happens. So yeah, at the beginning of upkeep, the opponent never let it get to the upkeep there, but you get to put a counter on it. Then if there are 3 or more, which we were going to have 3 or more, enchanted player loses the game. My guess is they just end up popping. Maybe it looks exactly like a concede too. So actually, I really don't know. Would have been cool to actually see there. We could consider a 3rd Gauntlet too. I think this was pretty good. If you drop 2 Tablet of Completions, an Eternal Wanderer, go up a Farewell, go up a land, and go up a 3rd Gauntlet. I could see that. I could see that. Alrighty, guys. Enough rambling. Very long videos this week. You guys will have to let me know. Did you like that it was slipping into the 50-minute range, or do you appreciate that I usually try to keep the videos around the 40-minute range instead? Let me know in the comments as well. And if you made it this far into the video, then y'all are absolute champions. Thank you so much. Seriously, I really do appreciate you. I will see you in the next video.